Hi everyone, welcome to this lesson. Today we're going to learn all about close reading and text annotation, and we're going to practice a lot of thinking aloud. So for those of you who are still not so sure about close reading, basically we do close reading to interpret, to comprehend complex text, to gain deep understanding. This is not just, a superficial sort of reading just for entertainment, but it's really for deep understanding. All right. We also do close reading to fully understand the author's message, to focus on patterns and details, and to analyze the text, to think critically about it, and to also analyze an author's craft. And for this particular text today, we are focusing on patterns and details because we have been learning about cause and effect patterns as well as the problem solution pattern. But of course, you can use close reading in many different situations. Right. So these are the codes that I will be using today. Obviously, we can have more. We can use more. This list is definitely not exhaustive, but for a start, we will just focus on these 5. So here's my demonstration. I'm going to read the text aloud, and as I'm reading, I'm also going to think out loud. I'm going to verbalize my thinking. All right. So are you ready? Okay, let's begin. In 1999, work began on Taipei 101. Now, this reminds me of Taipei 101. I've been there. Okay, so it reminds me of my experience, and I know it is very, very tall, a very extremely tall building, one of the tallest in the entire world. At more than half a kilometer high, it is one of the tallest buildings in the world. So this actually echoes what I already know. Underline this and show a connection, right, with my prior knowledge. Constructing a building of this size meant that there were some big problems to overcome. Okay, right now, I'm not so sure what big problems the writer is talking about, so I'm not too sure, but I'm curious to find out. Taiwan sits on a geological fault line in the Pacific Ocean. This seems like something I have learned in geography before, and I believe it has something to do with earthquakes. I'm not so sure. Pacific Ocean? A position that means earthquakes are certain to happen sooner or later. Again, this part echoes what I already know. Taiwan is also prone to typhoons. Oh, this is new to me, with wind speeds of 120 kilometers or more. So, Taipei 101's engineers had to plan for the worst. They decided to design the building to stand up to the strongest earthquake that could possibly happen in a 2,500 year cycle. Even though I'm a teacher, but this kind of confuses me, so I'm going to reread the whole sentence. They decided to design the building to stand up to the strongest earthquake that could possibly happen in a 2,500 year cycle. Could this mean that the scientists are preparing the building for the worst earthquake that can possibly happen in every 2,500 years? I have no idea. When you do this, when you write as you read, you're annotating. Okay, so we haven't used the codes problem and solution. So let's see if we can start using these. We have a problem here, prone to typhoons and also earthquakes. An earthquake occurs when there is sudden movement along a fault in the Earth's crust. The movement creates energy that travels through the ground in waves. These waves cause the earth to shake, rock, and heave violently in many directions. Okay. So when the waves hit the ground under a building, the building starts to shake too. These waves find the weak spots in a building that can cause it to collapse. Basically, just a lot of information. And okay, so far I haven't found anything that confuses me. So I'm going to read on first. Taipei 101's engineers knew that a building will be weak if some parts of it are stronger, stiffer, or more flexible than others. They needed to find a way to make the strength of the building in the same from bottom to top. To solve that problem, they came up with a unique solution: mega columns. So I think we have a solution over here. And not only is this a solution, this is also something that I've never heard before. I'm really curious and quite confused about it. I mean, this whole part sort of reminds me of whatever I learned about earthquakes. But this whole part about mega columns, I've never heard of it before. Okay, so it confuses me and I want to know more. Each side of the building has two mega columns that are 22.5 meters apart. Okay, all right. I guess what I can do right now is I can sort of break down this word. Now, if you tell me that this thing is called a mega column, and it seems like it's made out of two words, mega. I mean, it gives me the impression that it is very huge. Okay, and a column. I mean, I'm imagining that it is, a column, and I'm imagining that the engineers actually built very big columns that are bigger than normal. Let's move on. They are 22.5 meters apart. Okay, I can try to imagine that. The mega columns are connected to a corner column by floor girders. I know of girders. Okay, girders are used for support. They're for support. They are little pieces of metal usually that we use to support the roof and also basically the structure. Okay, or horizontal supports forming a pattern like a knots and crossbar. A knots and crossbar means tic-tac-toe. It reminds me of tic-tac-toe. Right? So, but after reading all these, I'm still a little bit confused. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. Rereading is a great strategy whenever you're confused. Always go back and read it again and try to imagine, use visualization, and try to connect every bit of information. Each side of the building has two mega columns. So we have the building, the tower, which I cannot remember how it looks like. So, I mean, I'm imagining it's just like a very tall tower. Okay. And it has two columns that are 22.5 meters apart. So we have columns. I don't know. Okay, I'm just imagining. And they're connected to a corner column, another column by floor girders, forming a pattern like a knots and crossbar. Floor girders. You mean the girders are on the floor? I have no idea. Forming a pattern and horizontal supports like this, like a tic-tac-toe. Does this look like a tic-tac-toe to you? I have no idea. Okay, I guess I need to see more pictures to be 100% sure of my visualization, but I would think I'm a little bit close. Right? It's fine. Doesn't quite affect my understanding of the main ideas in this text. Okay, so basically we have found the solution, mega columns, for the problem of earthquakes and typhoons. And at the same time, we have also done quite a lot of close reading. And by doing this close reading, I find that I actually understand the text better than if I were just to, just run my eyes through all these words and just kind of reading blindly, if there's a term for that. Okay. Yeah. So I hope you have fun doing close reading, and do let me know what are some of the difficulties that you face when you do close reading. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.